What's up, LEGO fans, and welcome back to my channel, Pete's Bricks, the LEGO channel for the common LEGO fan. In today's video, we're going to be comparing two LEGO sets. The first is the Space Construction Mech, which came out in 2024, and the second is the classic and iconic 2009 Power Miners Mine Mech. So ever since the newer set came out this year in January 2024, everyone has been comparing this set to the Power Miner set. In today's video, we're going to be answering the question as to which of these two sets is the better LEGO set. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so to the left we have the Space Construction Mech from 2024, and of course on the other side over here we have the Mine Mech from 2009 Power Miners. Let's get some of the basic stats out of the way first. Mine Mech is set 8957. It retailed in 2009 for $799. Of course, adjusting the inflation today, that would cost $1161. It included 67 pieces and a total of 2 minifigures in the form of Professor Brains and the Rock Monster. But later we'll compare the minifigures more closely. Right now we're just assessing the sets themselves. Next to that we have set 60428 Space Construction Mech, which released in January of this year, 2024. That means it's been exactly 15 years since the other mech was first released in LEGO stores worldwide. In 2024, this set retails for $10.99 USD, includes 140 pieces, which is 37 more pieces than the original set, and only comes with one minifigure. First, let's take a look at the Mine Mech from 2009, since that is the older one. This right here is everything you got with that 2009 set. As I said, 2 minifigures. One of them, of course, is the Power Miner, who controls this vehicle here. It's a pretty simple set. It has a few stickers like the black and white stripes on the feet, along with these shiny chrome kneecaps on the knees, which don't move, but I'm pretty okay with that, since the mech itself is super stable and posable. As you can see, you get the legs, which you can move on ball joints right around here. Very posable. The feet are very wide so that it can definitely stand without falling over. And you get 2 accessories on the sides in the form of this pickaxe and this explosive right here. Of course, the Power Miner is safely nestled inside this roll cage, which you can turn all the way back. He sits right here on 2 studs. You can place him right here on 4 studs. He has 2 different controller joysticks, which align perfectly with his hands, so you can angle those a little better and put them right into his hands. You can put the roll cage right back over the minifigure. One thing that really stood out to me that I hadn't really noticed before was the use of Bionicle parts. I think people who don't like Bionicles would probably use this as a criticism against the set in the form of this large Bionicle limb being used to support the arms, and this large Bionicle claw piece, which these are actually like armor pieces or claws from Bionicle. Bionicle haters would not like those. However, I like Bionicle, and while I do recognize that when they used to put some Bionicle pieces in regular LEGO system sets, they would kind of feel out of place, I have to say this does not feel out of place at all. This claw works very well as a claw. You can even put a rock monster that is included in the set perfectly in this claw. It's super easy to play with, and I have many memories playing with this as a kid, and as a kid who actually played with this toy, I can say for a fact this is a great set to play with. You have that feature there. Of course, you have this spinning feature here. Again, I will say that I don't know if this piece is specifically Bionicle. I do know it was in Bionicle sets. Maybe it's a Technic piece. However, you just spin this back thing and it spins, so he can cut rock or fight the rock monster. That's what I really like about this set, is that yes, he is mining for crystals, but he can also use these as weapons to fight against the rock monsters, as that was the whole Power Miner story. It was the miners down in the deep caves mining for these crystals for energy, but the rock monsters also ate the crystals, so there was a bit of a conflict there. Another sticker I wanted to point out was the number 2 here. each of the Power Miner vehicles had a number on them, and this was the second biggest Power Miner's vehicle. There was one that was a bit smaller than this that got a number 1, and of course the next bigger got a 3, and so on. My first impression switching sets is that this set is definitely just a lot bigger than the other one. You can see it's a lot taller in terms of size. You get more parts in this, specifically 37 more parts. So you can see there are a lot of smaller details added to here that just weren't available on the Mine Mech. I do want to point out that a lot of the parts used here for details did not exist in 2009. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. You can't just say, oh, the new one is better because it's more detailed, because I think even though that might be true, some parts just didn't exist back then. So for what it was, I think the Mine Mech is pretty well detailed, but of course this new one does have more details than the previous one. I wanted to point out that brand new red-orange color. The old Mine Mech used the regular orange, which you can see right here, and in the new one, that orange is a lot more closer to red. It is a brand new color for 2024, and these LEGO City Space sets are the first sets to include that red-orange color. You get one minifigure in the form of this Space Construction Worker Miner guy. You don't get a rock monster, you don't get any conflict in this box. Instead, you get a brick-built robot helper. Overall, I think the mech works pretty well. It's definitely posable. It still has those wide feet so that you could just plant it down nicely. This guy kind of pops out. He's not as well secured in the roll cage as in the Mine Mech, but you do have this that you lower over his head. You get this claw here. I really like how it spins like this. I think that's very good, very posable. Of course, this claw doesn't have to be as big as the Power Miner set since there are no rock monsters to pick up. All he does is pick up these crystals, which you can attach right into there, and he can pick up the crystal very easily and transport it back to base. I like the light details here. You have some more gray just detailing on the sides of the legs. I think the back is really cool with these opalescent, translucent, glittery pieces for batteries that are inserted into the back. That is just a super, super cool detail. The small helper robot also has a battery. I just think that's really cool that all their vehicles are powered by these purple batteries. Maybe the purple crystals that they're mining here are what they make into these powerful batteries, though I'm not quite sure, as the LEGO City Space really doesn't have a story or characters. The other guy was a named character. This guy doesn't get a name. He's just a guy, I guess, a guy in space. I like this little claw thing. It works for what it is, but somebody in the comments just, what is this thing?
What?
I don't know what this is. Does it go in and out and just beat rocks? Does it spin? Is it some sort of drill? I'm not really sure, and honestly, this doesn't look cool. It's just like a big wedge piece. I'm not really sure what it does. That's the big question. It's kind of cool. I don't mind it too badly, but if I gotta be honest, I kind of like this spinning blade more than this. The claws, I understand, they're different for what they pick up, but this just, I don't know, this just really doesn't do much for me. While there were only stickers in the Mine Mech, you do get some prints, specifically these classic space logos. Those are prints, while these right here on the feet and this on this weapon construction thing, those are stickers, which I think is a pretty smart idea since the sticker is printed on a clear back sticker. So by putting this on here, it makes it white and black. You can also put the same sticker here, makes it this bluish gray and black. I just think that's a really clever sticker, and you could, I guess you could just get a lot of these stickers and use them in your own mocks. You see, here's another one of those same stickers, but it's on the yellow, making a yellow and black design, which I think is super, super cool. We'll take a look at these side builds later when we take a look at the minifigures. I did want to point out one thing I did not like about this mech, and that is controls. As you saw in the Power Miner mech, that one had controls for this guy to pilot this. Let me ask you this. How is this guy supposed to pilot this mech? This makes absolutely no sense. Yes, I know this is a toy for kids. However, the other one was a toy for kids too, and I played with it, and it had joysticks. These gold things are useless. They are detail, I guess, tubing, which is nice. However, they could have removed those and just done anything for controls. There are 2 open studs right here. They could have added a brick, a control panel. They could have done some joysticks coming up from there. You have these gold pieces, like I mentioned, that are pretty useless. Just take them off and add a bar or do something to give him controls, because in its current state, there is no way for him to control this mech. If I were a kid and I were playing with this, I would have to imagine that his suit was just very high tech, and if he moves his arms, he moves these arms, but there's nothing that would indicate that that's the case. There's nothing for him to hold in his hands. There's no arm printing to show us that. It's just a guy. Yeah, I really don't like that about this set, that there's no controls. Overall, it's a cool set, and if you like the way it looks, you should add it for your collection. It's not that expensive, but the absence of controls just really, really bothers me. Taking a look at the minifigures and side builds included, this is all you get in the Space Construction Mech, and I will say you do get a lot more here than in the other set. You get your 1 minifigure, but you do get this side build, which consists of this dark orange and dark tan, which is nice, but these opalescent crystals, those look absolutely awesome. They glitter and shine in the light. Those are super cool, and I'm glad you get 2 in this set, where in the other set you only get 1 crystal. You also get this brick-built robot guy that I already showed you. He's made out of a few parts, though they are pretty effective. He has drills for hands, and overall, he is a pretty nice little addition to the set. The minifigure himself is very, very nice. He has foot printing, leg printing, torso and back printing, a brand new helmet for the line, along with a brand new armor piece that goes over his torso. Removing this helmet, you can get a look at his face. I don't know if it's just me, but that face looks a little misprinted. His left eye looks bigger than his right eye. The beard looks a little messed up. I think I just got a misprint and a little messed up print for the face. Removing that armor piece, that torso is very nice. I really like that gold detail, the classic space logo. Moving to the back, he has even more detail. This is a fantastic minifigure, and I'm very glad to add him into my collection. Moving over to Power Miners, you get not 1, but 2 minifigures in the form of the Power Miner known as Dr. Brains, who would later show up in Atlantis sets. But of course, I'll save that for another video. You also get a green and gray rock monster, who I think is super cool and honestly just a lot better than that side build robot in the city set. Dr. Brains is a pretty simple minifigure. He has some back printing with those overalls, front printing, leg printing. Pretty simple compared to the newer one. There's no foot printing, but I think he gets the job done. I like that classic Power Miners blue helmet. He does have 2 faces, a scared face and a happy, confident face, as opposed to the other guy who only has 1 face. He also comes with 2 accessories, which I think are severely lacking in that Lego City set. In the City set, you don't get anything. You don't get a pickaxe, you don't get even a walkie-talkie, which Lego loves to use all the time. Here you get a pickaxe and a piece of dynamite, which are very appropriate for a miner. You can use them to mine, and you can also use them to battle the rock monster. The rock monster is awesome. He comes with 1 green crystal that matches his color. The head is a separate piece which attaches right in there. You can chomp down on different things. He can eat the crystals, which is what he does. The arms are part of the body. I believe this is molded in translucent green with the gray painted on there, which actually looks really great. He has black and red eyes printed on there, which also look great. Some teeth featured there, which go away when you close it. Very nice gray arms. Maybe this is just because I grew up with this figure, but to me, the rock monster is just way more exciting than this thing. This is just a bunch of parts. You know, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice, but let's be real. The rock monster is just a better figure than this one. Comparing both sets together right here, I suppose you can make the argument that the new set here, you get more pieces, you get more stuff. Yeah, you're down a figure, but you get a robot instead. You get more cool crystals. Overall, it seems on paper that this is the better set, right? However, in person, I just like the Power Miner set a lot better. It might be because of nostalgia, but just putting that aside, I like the combination of the green and the orange better. It's a lot more striking. I think in the new set, what's supposed to pop is the color of the astronaut as opposed to the white, blue, and gray mech with little pops of orange. However, that Power Miners one just pops a lot better. Plus, I like the roll cage. I like that it actually has controls for the Power Miner to pilot that vehicle. I like the accessories you get. The rock monster is super cool. Overall, I think the Power Miner set is going to take it in this head-to-head battle against these two LEGO sets. Though I will say I do like the city set quite a bit. It's a pretty nice set. I can definitely see why people are comparing it to that classic Power Miner set. But if I had to pick, I think Power Miners definitely takes the win on this one. Well, it looks like the LEGO Power Miners mech ended up coming up on top of the LEGO City mech. But of course, that is just my opinion, which is probably right. But anyway, let me know down in the comments, which of these two LEGO mechs do you think is the better one? Is it going to go to the 2024 LEGO City set or the 2009 Power Miners set? But just let me know in the comments below, which of these do you like the best? As always, keep building, God bless, and I will see you guys in the next video on my channel, Pete's Bricks.